Welcome, everyone. If you are just joining, my name is Laura, and Matilda, the dog, is in the corner. Sometimes she makes an appearance. She doesn't stay there. If you have any props that you'd like to use for class, go ahead and grab a blanket, a cushion, blocks, a yoga strap. And it's always just an invitation. You don't have to join me in a seat on the floor. You're welcome to sit up on a chair or sit on a balance ball if that's better for your hips or knees. And here comes Astragalus. So we'll let him come in and I'll move the door. So we'll take a few moments to make ourselves comfortable. So whatever seat works for you at this time. And maybe we shift a little side to side, especially if it's a cross-legged seat. Below hips, how are they feeling? Maybe you've been sitting a lot today, or maybe you walked a lot this weekend or hiked. Just give yourself a few moments to arrive. We might even support underneath the thighs or the knees. Let the eyes rest. Take a full deep inhale and release. Let it go. In any way that feels right in your body. And we may give the body a little wobble, a little wiggle. And let's spin both palms to face up. Bringing some movement into the fingers and perhaps a gentle nod of the head. We're breathing, sighing, letting the body vibrate with our own sound healing. And let's raise one hand, starting to circle that one wrist. It doesn't matter what side you start with, unless there's sensitivity. Maybe you start with the other side. Make sure you reverse direction. And then just land that hand, and let's raise the other hand, twirling the wrist. And go the other way. Sometimes there's some wrist music. Ideally, it doesn't hurt. If it does, of course, don't do that. And then just landing, resting, connecting thumb and index fingerprints, let the eyes rest. Coming back to the breath. Exploring, observing the body's shape shift with each inhale and each exhale. We may find ourselves wobbling up a little taller. We may feel our breath expanding and massaging those tense areas, those shortened areas from the inside. Let's bring one hand, you choose which one, onto the belly, palm face in. Maybe give a little strum to the fingers, sweep the arm out to its side, turning the head in that same direction. Movement in fingers, maybe very slow nods of the head. How is this feeling? Maybe in your wrist, fingers, elbow, upper arm. Just being curious, and we'll gather back in, resting, wobbling up. And we'll let the other hand rest somewhere on the abdomen, on the belly. And at your own pace, expanding, reaching that arm out, turning the head in that direction. We might be feeling some big differences side to side. Maybe we do things symmetrically, like lifting weights, but maybe you're working in a garden this time of year and you're leaning on one hand and using a tool with the other. So just observing. It might not be in the hand at all. Maybe it's the elbow, the forearm. Maybe it's coming right up the arm or into the side ribs. We'll gather that side in. Breathing. Moving up into the shoulders, just very gently paddling the shoulders, one and then the other, letting the head tip. And let's go the other way, moving shoulders in second direction. And then bringing palms face down. Full breath in body. Now you are welcome to use props. We'll think about leaning forward. Now maybe it's on something like blocks or a chair. Maybe hands are on the floor and we might just glide again, side to side. As we tip in, we might slide our props or our hands further forward. Listen to the hips, the back, the shoulders. You're welcome to stay higher. We may be moving lower. And then just as gradually sliding back in, let's rock back. Notice which leg you might have on top or in front, whichever is easier for you to remember. Reach out through the legs. Give that wiggle through the knees and perhaps flex the feet. We may hold that. Bring the fingers claw style underneath the knees. Little massages, circles around, and especially underneath the knees. Get that patellar tendon, that kneecap tendon. Do the inner knees. Bring both hands to one thigh, moving up one thigh. Try the other. And then let's reverse the cross of the legs. And again, we might just wobble while we're a little higher, just shifting side to side, wobbling hips back and maybe supporting underneath the thighs and knees. Sitting with a breath. So let's bring left hand to the right side of the chest and expand that left arm out. So maybe we have the arm at about shoulder height and movement in fingers. We may spin the thumb up, thumb back, and we might then open the palms and then roll the shoulder forward. Palm might land facing up and go back and forth, bringing that flourish into the fingers through the wrists. And perhaps the head is turning. And let's land with palm up, and we may reach that arm up in the air and twist a light bulb overhead. We may turn the chin over to the right. Option to use a prop. It doesn't have to be the one under your leg. It might be. We might tip lean side bend over to the right. We may bend the elbow. We may place the hand on the head. These are just possibilities. You don't have to do it all. We will gradually rise up, perhaps with the hand at the back of the head now, elbow bending, rotating, turning over towards the right, and then open it back up. And as we exhale, turn towards the right, maybe dip the elbow a little closer to the knee, and open it back up. And one more time. Perhaps we rotate, find a little grounding in the back, elbow closer to the knee. We'll rise back up, releasing, resting, eyes at rest. Perhaps audibly sighing, vibrating the body. Second hand, so maybe right hand on the upper chest. And we may unfurl that arm, bringing movement into the fingers, maybe a little nod of the head. Maybe the sides, the dominant side, the mousing side, and perhaps we give the thumbs up. And very slowly, it might be a little more interesting, we'll call it interesting, to dial that thumb back. And we might stick with this. Maybe we just go back and forth, but perhaps we open the palm and roll the shoulder forward, flourish the fingers, the wrists, doing that Bollywood arm, going back and forth, perhaps bringing more movement into the neck. We'll land with the palm face up, and let's take that arm high, twist the imaginary light bulb overhead. And we'll peer to the left, and perhaps we're finding a prop and going for that deeper side bend. And we're welcome to keep the arm long, but maybe we're bending the elbow. Maybe we're bending and extending, bending. Consider rising up and bringing the hand towards the back of the head. Starting to rotate towards the left. It could just be a little bit. We'll inhale, open, maybe a little to the right. Exhale, as we go left, maybe we're tilting that elbow down towards the thigh, towards the knee. We'll inhale up. And one last time. Exhale, rotating down. This time as we rise up, let's bring both hands together, weave the fingers together behind the head. Give a little rock, wobbling, opening those elbows, support the head. Breathing into the front of the chest, the front of the shoulders, maybe a tiny, tiny micro nod of the head. And perhaps we press both arms up in the air and bend one elbow, pressing up through the heel of the straight arm. Bend the other elbow more, reach up through the heel of the hand. And we may just go side to side to side, wiggling up. Let the arms release down. Take a few moments to just breathe. Perhaps we're rolling the shoulders, rolling in that second direction. We may find our props and think about that forward bend. Maybe we're staying fairly high and leaning side to side. Maybe we're sliding those arms further forward. Breathing into side ribs. And we'll slowly, slowly come all the way back up. Rock on back, extend the legs. Get those little wiggles through the knees, twirl the ankles around. Again, ankles might be musical like the wrist, twirl the other way. So you are welcome to sit, as I mentioned, in any way that works for you. It might not be kneeling. We may grab a block and bring ourselves into a kneeling seat so that we have the block between our ankles, between our heels, sitting up on a block, maybe two, maybe just come up higher. Rock, find balance on those sits bones. And as we sit up tall, pick one hand, palm face up like you have an apricot in the palm of your hand. And we're reaching that apricot forward, and then we're flexing, fingers down. Cluster the fingers together. Start to point the fingers towards that inner elbow. And just go back and forth, back and forth. Landing, second side, flex, cluster. So fingers down, cluster, bring them in, going back and forth. Now, if we're feeling really sensitive, maybe that's plenty. We might do both hands. We may take one palm face up, grab the other digits, and reach forward with the heel of the hand. And please feel free to back it out. You can let go immediately. You might enjoy the hold. Let's say hello to the other side. We might know we're not doing this on the other side. And again, you don't have to hold. You might grab, release. Bring movement back into the fingers. And let's choose one digit to start with, an index finger. And just start to give yourself a little self massage. So we're moving up the finger around the knuckle. We're making our way very gently up to the nail bed in the print. And then releasing. Let's do the sides of the finger as well. So inside, outside, coming back up. And release. And we'll go for center finger. So we're doing the top, the underside, if you will, and then the sides of each digit. Lastly, the thumb. We'll move on to second hand. Now, if you have maybe a more recent finger injury or a more acute injury, maybe just skip that finger for now. So going through each of the fingers, bring that movement back in. Now remember the option. You might just go back and forth. You might grab the fingers and hold. Maybe we're going to grab the index finger. We're wrapping the other digits around. Press the heel of the hand forward and combine the finger massage with that, moving your way down to the nail. Same with center finger, ring, pinky, the thumb, same thing, bit of a funny grip there. All the way down to the nail, and then moving on to second hand side. So moving through all of the digits. And finally, the thumb. Releasing, and we may just flex. We may bring backs of the hands to the ribs, or maybe hands onto the thighs, whichever you prefer. And then another one of my favorites can be done on hands and knees. It is a little similar to what we've done, but possibly more intense. So you may want some knee padding. So we might plug in that knee padding, find hands and knees in a way that works for you. So let's say you're starting with the right hand, whichever side you start with, we'll do both. The fingertips are pointing forward, and then we're dialing them towards 3 o'clock. Maybe we land at 3 o'clock, maybe we back it back off to 1. We might come all the way around to 6 o'clock, so pointing the fingers tips at the knees. And we might just stay here. Yep, it can get pretty interesting. If it works for you, we may sit the hips back, letting the heel of the hand peel up. Take your time. Toes may be tucked under, so the toes are getting in on the fun too. And then as we come up, we may lift the hand and flex the wrist. Now, very carefully, the option may be to put the back of the hand on the floor, working the elbow towards straight. Breathing. I kind of love it, but I've been doing this a lot. So just take your time with it, and you can certainly just keep that hand off the ground. Let the hands lift. So second side, right? Fingers start at 12. Maybe we dial them towards 9, if it's your left hand. And maybe all the way, point the fingers back towards the knee. And perhaps we sit back, letting the heel of the hand rise, keeping some fingerprints down. Your thumb will probably come up unless it's super long. So we're shifting forward. Option to flex and keep it off the ground, but maybe we're bringing the back of the hand to the floor. Maybe we're working that elbow closer to straight. Releasing, let that go. And what's going on with the toes? We may want to point the feet, little toe release. We may want to tuck the toes, rounding the back, finding a little wobble, moving into our cat pose. Perhaps the hips, rocking closer to the heels. Maybe creeping the fingers a little further forward, enjoying the shoulder stretch. Let's rock up, dipping into your variation of sway back, of cow pose. Perhaps that includes swaying the hips to one side and the chin turns in that direction. We may sway through the middle and over to the second side. We may round the back, dancing our cow into a cat, move back to one side. We may be bending the elbows, dancing cat-cow. Or maybe you think about the mustard pot. It is nearly empty, and you are trying to scrape every last bit of mustard out with the ribs. Reverse direction, go the other way. And then we'll land back at center, tucking the toes. Let the hips rise, pedaling the feet. Hello, backs of the lower legs. The head may tip a little side to side. We may slow walk the feet closer to the hands, letting the head be heavy, letting the neck be long, letting the head nod, circle nod. Let the cheeks and the lips melt towards the ground. We may take a deep inhale, sigh it out. We may take a deep inhale and flutter the lips like a raspberry. Bending the knees. Transition forearms onto the thighs. Let the hips slowly sink, especially if you tend to get lightheaded. We might find a little rock forward and back on the feet, playing with that balance. We may sink the hips lower, root to rise. The arms may rise, the gaze may rise. Thumbs finding the brow, thumbs finding the heart. So let's check out our prop arrangement. We might place knee cushion on the long left edge of the mat, and we might keep a couple of blocks or have a couple blocks or a chair seat at the top short edge of the mat. Spinning palms forward. Find that little rock forward and back. Inviting the arms back up in the air. As we exhale, forward fold, option to grab the block so that we have longer arms. Inhale, chest rising, stepping left leg back. Let's shift a little forward, a little back. Take your time getting into that back leg, inner thigh, getting into the toes. Maybe we're going to position the blanket so that we drop that back knee. And perhaps we find those little shifts, those little rocks, side to side. Now we may tuck the toes, slide the hips back, switching, sliding, front foot forward, and perhaps rocking back on the heel. We may spin the blocks up higher, chest higher. And the hips may lean a little further back. And perhaps we bend back into front knee and land left hand on the ground. Option to place that right hand on right thigh, and we may sink in deeper. Maybe we even take that left hand wider. Every day is different. Every body is different. We might be turning towards the right, maybe a little nod of the head. That might be plenty of stretch. Remember, we always have options. We may tuck the back toes, raise that back knee, reach that right arm up in the air. And perhaps we're bringing that back knee down to the ground, finding the blocks. We've got those long arms, tuck the back toes, back knee rises, stepping back foot forward, looking out, and exhale, chest to thighs. Give the head that little nod, little circle nod. Let's rise part way up. Remember, your blanket might be on the left, your knee cushion might be on the left side of the mat, so we may want to just switch that. Reach right leg back, shifting forward, shifting back. Low thigh. Make any adjustments needed with that knee padding. You can stay where you are, but maybe we're putting that back knee on the ground for a bit. We may find those little shifts side to side. We may glide the hips back and slide that front foot forward. Spin your props up a little bit higher. Maybe scooching the toes and rocking back on the heel. And let's bend back into front knee. And as we shift forward, you can always stay with the blocks. We might be moving that right hand wider, left hand, left knee. And we may just hang out here, breathing into the shoulder. We don't have to go anywhere else. Maybe we tuck the back toes, raise the back knee, and reach that left arm up in the air. Let's bring that back knee back down to the ground. Let the hands come down. Find your props. Back knee rises, tap, tap, navigate. Right foot forward, looking out. And exhale, tipping, maybe circling, circle nodding the head. And let's rise part way up. We may peel the heels up. We may rock back on the heels, lift the toes, fan the toes. Putting that back into knees. Let's circle the arms high. Grab the left wrist. Flip the palm to face the ceiling. Tipping to the right. Let's rise back up. Swap the grip. Tip lean, second side. And let's rise back up. Let the hands come back down to the ground. You're welcome to move your knee padding off to the side if you like. And we'll walk back briefly to plank. Perhaps we land on the forearms, just get right off those wrists. We may land the knees, point the toes, lift the heart. Find a little glide over to the right, chin to the right. Maybe bending left knee. Moving side to side and eventually landing a little left. And maybe bending right knee, opposite knee. Let's bring it back to the middle, brow down. Slide the hands back. Lift the sternum. Lift the heart. You're welcome to keep as much bend as you like in the elbows. Pressing hips back towards heels, child's pose. So let's slide the hands back in. Find your knee padding. We'll come back up to hands and knees, maybe a wide knee position. And we may reach that left arm back up in the air. Go for that twist. We may place the hand to the back of the head and thread the elbow under the right arm. Inhale, reaching up. It doesn't have to be that far. We may just exhale, bring it down. So you could stick with that variation or opt to extend the left arm and thread the left arm under the chest. We may come all the way down onto the left shoulder, onto the left cheek. We may lean the hips more to the right. We may tuck the right toes, reach back through that right heel, and walk the right arm diagonally to the left. Sometimes it's helpful to grab hold of that upper left corner of the hand, upper left corner of the mat with the hand. Letting the knee come down, we'll make our way back up, hands and knees, rounding back. Find those little wobbles, maybe lean the hips over to the left, drop it down as low as you like. We may rise up, lean the hips over to the right. And rise up. We may reach that right arm up in the air. Now we may just stick with threading the arm. We may prefer to try the elbow bends. Inhaling up. And exhale, twisting. Maybe we're going for that full thread where we're bringing that right arm all the way down to the ground, landing on right cheek, pressing into that left hand, slide the hips to the right. Remembering just because you did one thing on the other side doesn't mean you have to do that exact same thing on this side if it's not on the menu. Maybe we're wiggling the left foot back. Maybe we're taking the left hand diagonally to that upper right corner of the mat. Letting the knee land, sliding that hand back in. Extract the arm, what feels right for you. Maybe it's reaching that arm all the way up. We may cycle that hand down, round the back. We may lean the hips over to the right. We may come back up and lean the hips over to the left. And we may draw circles. Hips to shoulders, reversing direction, circling next direction. And let's land back, roll all the way up, get off those wrists. So we might be flexing the wrists, we may be bringing them onto side ribs. We might grab a couple of blocks for longer arms. I'm just going to adjust out of that sun spot there. So longer arms, let's take the right toes back. Send that right foot back. You can keep longer arms. Option to put hands on the ground and hover that left knee, give a little wobble. We might hover that whole lower left leg, just a possibility. So let the left leg come down. Again, longer arms are welcome, but you're welcome to keep hands on the ground. So if you feel like you're sway back at all, cow, and I'm doing that, I'm exaggerating that. Poop. Try to lift out of it and reach the leg back. Maybe even wider hands for a little more space. Exhale, draw the knee to the nose. Inhale, extend. Let's do it twice more. Exhale, knee to the nose. Inhale, extend. So you're listening to your body. And then next time you extend the leg, bend the knee and try on a few circles from the hip joint. Circle, second direction. And then draw the knee in and step the knee forward and out to the right a bit. And just try a lateral lunge. Shift to the right. And let's rise back up. Perhaps we slide or heel toe, right leg long out to the side. We may roll onto the heel, pointing toe tips up. We may come back into the lateral lunge. We may sit back towards that left heel. Just a possibility. You might slide the arms forward. Let's start to rise back up. Check out that left leg. Line the toes up more or less with the knee. And perhaps we rise up a little bit higher on the blocks and heel toe, right foot in until we feel ready to walk the hands up the right thigh. So we may just lean back a little bit, turning up the stretch in the front of that left leg. We may reach that left arm up in the air. We may spin the palm to the left, grab the wrist, go for a little more height. Inner right thigh hugs into midline instead of tipping out as we lean to the left. It's actually the right, you're leaning to your right. So let's make our way all the way back up, letting the hands come down. Finding your props, and let's heel toe, that right foot back out. So option to press into the hands, raise the leg, and just rewind. Sitting back, dropping back. Your kneeling seat, or maybe sliding forward into a version of child's pose. You might have your brow supported. So let's slide the hands in. Second side, I'm going to spin around so you can see what's happening with that left leg, but don't feel like you have to do that at all. So we might, again, have block hands and take that left leg back, pitching back through the heel, and we may lift the ribs. So you certainly don't have to stay on the blocks. It's probably better not to if you're going to do the hover. So we may just hover the right shin, right knee, and keep the toes down. We may hover the whole shin, finding a little sway. And then releasing down, let that leg rise. And maybe we want the blocks here for more room. Drawing the knee to the nose. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to the nose. Inhale, extend. One more time, knee to nose. Inhale, extend. Bend the knee out to the side, circling from the hip. Reversing direction, circle, second direction. And then raise that leg and step out to the left. It's usually a little easier if we've got our hands on those blocks. Go for the lateral lunge. Take your time. Hips move back towards the right, sliding left leg out. We may roll up onto the heel, pointing toe tips up. We may heel toe in, go back to the lateral lunge. We may pivot that right heel in and sit down like we're in a hybrid squat with the left leg, wide knee child's pose, perhaps with the right leg. Then we'll rise back up and we might re-extend that leg for a moment. Just take your time, check out that right foot, make sure we're swinging the ankle back in line with the knee. There's no hurry. Breathing, finding where you need to be in this moment. So perhaps we heel toe that leg in, and we might start to spin those blocks up a little bit higher. heel toe, knee in, climbing the hands up the thigh. And we may just kind of slide the sits bones a little bit forward. Getting into the front of that back leg thigh more. The right arm may rise. The palm may face the right. We may grab the wrist, tip lean to the left. And gradually rising back up, letting those hands come down. Take your time. Feel free to keep the hands high. We may heel toe, heel toe. We may just cycle, bring that leg back, sitting back, maybe in a kneeling seat. Perhaps coming to child's pose. Now we may come up, and it could be a kneeling seat. Again, you're welcome to sit up on something higher if you like. If you have a strap, go ahead and grab it, or your strap substitute. You could also just pretend that you have a strap in your hands. Maybe hold a buckle end. Slide your hands long and invite the strap overhead. Start to draw the strap backwards. We might need to slide the hands further apart. Tipping back, reaching back. And let's rise back up. We might reset the hands and tip to one side. We'll rise back up, bring it to the second side. Watch out for the other hard end of the strap. And we'll rise back up, reset the hands. Now, if you kept your arms straight previously, try an elbow bend this time, bending the elbows as we draw the strap backwards, back behind the head. What's the head doing? Jutting forward, slide the head back. Breathing into the front of the chest. And let the arms rise and release. And perhaps just circle those wrists. Sometimes we over grip. Maybe backs of the hands on side ribs. We'll put the strap off to the side and you'll probably want your knee padding. So knee padding may be available on that left long edge of the mat. Hands on the block, step the right foot forward, and you may just ratchet that left leg further back. Sinking in, take your time. You do not have to go anywhere else. Now, maybe we slide back and decide, I might like to bring my left hand or maybe my left forearm onto a prop or the floor. We may tuck the left toes, ratchet the knee back, and again, place that right hand. Maybe we're bending that back knee. We could try it out and just say no thanks and put it right back down. So maybe we decide that left forearm is on a prop. We might even heel toe, the right toes, right knee a little wider, bend the knee. We may raise that right arm. We might reach back and grab hold of the foot. Maybe it's the heel, whatever you can grab. You don't have to do this. Releasing, unwinding slowly. So unwinding the twist, heel toe in. Now maybe we're going to use those blocks, press up, find that height. We may move right hand inside the foot, heel toe. We may raise the leg, cycle the leg back, and just set up for that second side. So if you need to move your knee cushion more right, please do. So a lunge, maybe plenty. Taking your time, we may slide the hips back. Maybe we think we might want the block so we don't put it too far, but we might try out Right hand down, left hand on the thigh and knee. Breathing into the shoulder. And maybe from here, we try out bending the knee. We might touch the toes down, ratchet the knee back, try again. Maybe we're deciding to lower onto the forearm, bend the knee. We may raise the left arm, we may reach that arm back, feeling for the foot. Whew, we might just let it go. Maybe the side's quite different. Taking your time to unwind, and maybe that means block arms. We may slide the foot in, we may move left block inside the foot, raise the leg, and cycle that knee back. Perhaps we put the block between the heels, sitting backwards. So let's have an option if kneeling just isn't on the menu. You might decide, and we'll go back to kneeling if that is on the menu for you, but you might decide that you're going to side lie instead, and you might want some padding for your side hip. So we might come down to a side lying position. Now your arm could be a pillow, or a block, or an actual pillow could be a pillow for your head. So whichever knee is on top, we may pull that into the chest and then just reach that leg forward. Sweep the leg slowly, slowly back, like you're kicking backwards. Start to point the foot, heel moving towards your glute. Draw that knee up and in. Kind of like a slow motion back pedal. We may grab the foot, roll the head of the shoulder back, holding the foot. So when we release the foot, let's just stack the knees, resting here. So when we come to kneeling, you might opt to stick with the side lying or return to it. So you might just be rolling over to the second side. Take a few moments, find your spot. Draw the top knee into the chest, reach forward with the heel and sweep that heel backwards, starting to point the foot, bending the knee. Draw the knee into the chest, press out through that heel. Next time around, perhaps grab the foot, rolling the head of the shoulder back. And releasing and resting. So if kneeling is not for you right now, you can stick with side leg, you can repeat. We might come up to kneeling on the block, and we may step the left foot forward. So the right leg stays in the kneeling position. Giving yourself a moment to acclimate. And you might roll something up and put it underneath that right top ankle if that ankle isn't feeling very flexible. So we may shift the hands back. We may lift the seat, tuck the tailbone, put your glutes down, keeping the tailbone tucked. And this might be plenty in that right thigh. If you're wanting a little more stretch out of it, think about how high your prop is. So if it's a full-size block like these are, it is a pretty big drop to go from block to no block. But maybe that is what we're doing. We might move the block and put the bottom on the ground. Did we actually lose the stretch in the thigh though? So that's a possibility. We might have to retuck. We might come down onto the forearms. And we might just put the block back. If we were getting more out of the thigh stretch, being up on the brick. So when you feel ready, we'll start to rise back up, scooch the sits bones back, untuck the right foot, fold left foot back. So just take a few moments to arrive, maybe use your fingers and spread out the toes. And this might be plenty. We may bring the hands back, lift the seat, tuck the seat, put the tucked seat back down. And you can certainly stay right here. You can certainly go lower if that's a nicer option for you. And let's start to bring ourselves out of it. Gradually, gradually, we'll come on up, untuck the seat, slide that left foot forward, and just give yourself a moment. Breathing. And as you feel ready, we'll think about coming on to back body. Now, I don't know how much cushion you have underneath yourself. You may want to keep it there. You might be ready to slide it out, but have a block in your thigh. So we may bring ourselves down onto back body, resting. Perhaps bring the elbows alongside the ribs, tuck the shoulders down, fan the toes, and let the hips curl up. We may reach the fingertips towards the heels. Make sure you're not flattening your neck. You're keeping a little curve in your neck. Slowly, slowly releasing down. So we may again press into the elbows. Let the hips rise, knees reaching forward. Thighs gently hugging in, not touching, just gently hugging in. And then gradually lowering down, releasing down. We may reach out, find a block, let the hips rise. And we might try a low setting, arrive at that low setting. How does that feel? Maybe medium, maybe high. Find the one that works for you. Just take a few moments to settle in. And if you went for that highest possible setting, maybe consider coming back to medium, maybe even back to low, just because it's more secure. The block will be less tippy. Rocking that left thigh into the chest. We may hold on around the shin, and we may reach that right leg long. And perhaps we find just that little rock. Pulling left thigh, left knee into the chest, and then bring the right leg in, let the left foot come down, and perhaps we're sending that left leg longer. Breathing into belly. And we may bring both knees in and draw figure eights on the blocks. Massaging hips, massaging low back. We may drop the feet and just adjust the block to the place where you feel like you can bring the feet in and have balance. Dust the feet off and reach the legs up in the air. We may open the arms wide, spinning palms to face up for the next 10 to 15 breath cycles. You're welcome to stay as you are, or let the legs start to V out. Cross the left leg on top of the right, winding the legs up. Now, some of us might very easily hook the toes of the left leg around the right. We might just cross. We may just cross the thighs. Extending, opening the legs, and rewinding now with right leg on top of left. Opening and releasing the soles of the feet back down to the ground. Give yourself a few moments. We may creep those toes a little further forward, remembering that everybody is different. If your low back is very sensitive, I do not suggest this next variation. You might slide the legs long, hips still on the block. Some people might even enjoy the blocks at the medium setting with the legs extended, but everybody is different. And if your low back is sensitive, this usually doesn't feel so nice. So if you're loving that, you are welcome to stay with it. If it's not your favorite, go ahead, step the feet and lift the hips, sway the hips to the left. Rock the knees into the chest. Option to have a prop off to the right, rolling the knees to the right and perhaps expanding left arm left. Full deep breathing into side ribs. Perhaps sweeping the knees higher, grabbing the toes and extending the legs over to the right. Perhaps lengthening the left hip away from the left armpit. Releasing the toes, take your time. Bringing the knees back to the middle, press into the feet, level the hips. If you'd like, rock, wobble the thighs into the chest. Give yourself a little sacral rock, sacral massage. Land the feet, let the hips rise, slide the hips over towards the right, rocking the knees in, tipping knees left when you're ready, perhaps unfurling that right arm. Find the spot that works for you for now. It can change. Full deep breathing into the tighter spaces. If they're too tight to breathe into, maybe we're backing the twist off. Perhaps you're staying right here. Perhaps you're thinking about sweeping the knees closer to the chest and extending the legs. maybe holding on to the big toes, rolling that right hip away from right shoulder. And you are welcome to stay longer, rolling back to the middle when you feel ready. Press into the feet, level the hips, and perhaps wobble the thighs back into the chest. Full breathing. Option to elevate the legs, option to send the legs long, perhaps press down through the heels and exhale, release. Give a little shake, a wobble to the legs. Maybe a little wobble to find the head at center, let the legs rest. Let the body sigh, supported, resting. And breath may be deepening. We may be bending elbows, bringing movement to fingers, circling wrists. We may press down through the heels, reach up through the arms and glide, slide the hips. Exhale, releasing. We may bend each knee, press into the feet, slide the hips over to the left, rolling to rest on right side body. Take your time to support yourself at your own pace back to a seat. Perhaps second favorite leg on top. And as we settle in, connecting palms, rubbing hands together, hovering them before closed eyes, deep inhale, releasing. Rubbing hands together, placing them over your heart, full deep inhale, and releasing. Rubbing hands together, place them over the belly, deep breath, letting it go. Leaving a hand on the belly, placing the other over the heart. Sealing our practice with vibrational sound. Deep inhale. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing this practice. Let me know if anyone has questions.